Today's video is all about the aura and improving one's aura. But first, let's put some words to the word itself. What does that mean to improve one's aura? Well, to me, it means that we are inspiring, positive, empowering feelings in others because they're already looking your way. They might as well get something good out of it. So we're going to go over how we can best live our lives by taking action, but first having the thoughts that lead to the action that is ultimately going to harness that energy within and shine it out for others to see. So just like any external change we want to have in this world, it first begins within. But before we get into any of that, let's start with a story. Looking back a long time ago, I was in college and I was living a life full of ingestion, projecting, escaping, you name it. Whether it was me consuming things that weren't great for my body or projecting my harsh feelings onto others and escaping the realities of daily life. Ultimately, my actions were taking a toll on my body, on my friends, on my family, and overall, a change was needed, whether I recognized it or not. But little did I know that at the time, what I really wanted was to have my external reality be different. All I had to do was change the thoughts that I'm choosing to dwell upon. It's as simple as that. But what does that mean? It sounds great. Let's change our thoughts to change our world. But what does that truly mean? Well, first, what does it mean to you? When I say that statement, change your thoughts to change your reality, what does that mean to you? Pause the video, leave me a comment below. Well, it's as simple as this. First, we have thoughts. Then, our thoughts bring about feelings. We have good or bad feelings depending on what the thought is. If you're having a thought of getting bullied at school, then you're gonna feel pretty bad. If you have thoughts of winning $1 billion, then you're gonna be ecstatic, okay? So it makes sense we have thoughts that lead to feelings. And these feelings affect our behavior. If you're feeling good, then you're gonna share a compliment with someone. If you're feeling bad, you might be standoffish and kind of adjacent in terms of your emotional compassion for others. And next, we have our behavior molding our character. The behavior that we have in this short-term moment adds up over time to form our long-term character. Think about any video game, any quest you go on. You go and you interact with some character. Well, do that over and over and over again, and eventually you build up that inventory of personality traits, of equipment, of whatever it may be. That is your character. And now, lastly, your character is what molds and shapes your reality. And I think, to me, that it is that last leap from your character to the reality being changed that is the most difficult to grasp mentally. But let's pause the brakes. I'll get to that. So jumping back to the beginning, we have our thoughts that in some way, shape, or form affect our reality. Thus, if we change our thoughts, then we are then changing our reality, whether we like it or not, whether we are proactive or not. So, how do we change our thoughts if we want to ultimately shape our reality? Well, if you want to change your body to ultimately shape your physique, what do? Well, you go to the gym and you work on your diet. Your physical diet. And in the same way, we are here to explain the mental diet. Now first, let me give credit where credit is certainly due to the one and only Joseph Rodriguez, who introduced this idea of the mental diet to me, who originally reported it from Emmet Fox, who wrote a book about this whole concept. And I'll show a screenshot here showing whatever ChatGPT has to summarize from the book. You can go and read it or watch Joseph Rodriguez's book or check out my blog post about this if you really want more information. But we're going to stay at a high level summary and ultimately talk about why you should even be excited about this idea of being able to change your reality by simply changing your thoughts. I mean, that's the easiest thing in the world, right? Wrong. Or are we right or wrong? That's the whole point. There is no clearly dictated right way or wrong way of thinking. These thoughts that are coming to our head, they are completely subjective to you and I. That's the whole reason of why we must be working our way backwards to one of the most elementary things that happen in conscious life itself is having these thoughts of awareness. And right now we're going to go jump back in time and wonder, how do we even associate with these thoughts? Where are they coming from and why are they important to guide us towards our goal envisioned life? We can all agree that biology is interesting. in part because survival is always strived after. And in my opinion, the same can be said about our thoughts. Try this. Go into a meditative session, close your eyes, and focus on one single point with your eyes closed. Try not to have any thoughts, any distraction, any other stimulus filling your mind's eye. You'll soon begin to recognize that random thoughts are appearing out of absolutely nowhere, or somewhere. Some random part of your awareness is being hit out of every which direction. And your goal is to not associate or dwell or attach to any particular idea. Simply focus on this one spot. Recognize that you're getting hit left and right with these different thoughts, but you can easily put up your shield, ignore them, let them bounce away, and return to your sole focus. And over time, by doing this, you'll begin to recognize that eventually you'll be hit with an idea that is worth focusing on, that is worth pondering. And this is what I'm going back and saying that biology is interesting. We are training our thoughts to begin having some kind of substance to them, not just mere reactivity to randomness that's coming our way. In the same way that large language models like ChatGPT were trained in part with human feedback, we are doing that exact same thing, but with our thoughts in this meditative session. We are saying that certain thoughts are deemed valuable because we're focusing on them. We're giving our currency of energy, of focus, of awareness, of what have you, onto them, and thus that is the thought machine that is beginning to churn. Even if this is just in a meditative session, this is the start of something that is going to transcend beyond just that one session. And we're only just beginning. Next, the goal is to have this hyper-awareness of the thoughts in our mind begin to transcend into our waking hours. For 7 days, the whole goal here is to be aware of each and every thought that is coming into our minds that we are choosing to dwell upon. And this term dwell upon is simply ideas that we're actually giving more thought to than simply having it in our minds, becoming aware that we're having an idea or a thought or what have you, and then shooting it back out into the ether. Well, first, how do we know which ideas are worth dwelling upon? Well, I have a breakdown for you right now. Number 1, does it make you feel good? Number 2, is it in alignment with your goals? Number 3, is it in harmony with others? Number 4, you fill in the blank. Ultimately, you want to have thoughts that are increasing your compassion for yourself and for others, and increasing your faith in the unseen reality. Anything that is disharmonious to any of those points, whether they're branching from a person, an environment, a situation, or a circumstance, you ultimately want to shove it away. You want to steer yourself back on track by simply not dwelling in it. You have the ability to choose the thoughts that you want to dwell upon. All you have to do is detach from those thoughts that you don't want to be associated with. Because, like we mentioned before, those thoughts that you're associating yourself with by dwelling upon them are ultimately going to be affecting your feelings, which then affect your behavior and your character and then your reality. Which then goes back to the point of improving one's aura. Your aura is improved when you're focused on feeding yourself these high vibrational thoughts that are in alignment with yourself and with others. By living this life that is pure to your goals, then you're living your life in a way that is seen as desirable, as highly attainable, as respected. You fill in the characteristic. Whatever you're doing in your life, you can do so with a devoted purpose, whether that's something that is meaningful for you or something that is valued by others. No matter what it is, so long as you are not focusing on anything that's a distraction, anything that's bringing you down or tearing others around you into a worsened state of mind, body, and spirit alignment, then you're improving your aura, especially when our actions and our behaviors and our thoughts and our feelings, etc., are contagious. We're sharing the positivity with others, whether we're doing so in a video, through interactions, by simply walking down the street, or whatever. You are helping others by simply helping yourself, and it all begins within. I will conclude by saying that we improve our aura by living our best lives, and we live our best lives by first going within, changing the frameworks from which we operate, and allowing this 3-sense reality to unfold before our very eyes in ways that don't require overthinking, don't require overacting, and don't require anything that is a distraction towards the goal that we have at the forefront of our minds. Go within, and let the world do whatever it needs to do. Thank you.